While all was dark upon the earth, God said, "Let there be light." And then the light began to come upon the world. Part of the time it was light, and part of the time it was dark, just as it is now. And God called the dark time night, and the light time day. And that was the first day upon this earth after a long night. Then at God's word the dark clouds all around the earth began to break. The sky came in sight, and the water that was in the clouds began to be separate from the water that was on the earth. And the ark of the sky which was over the earth God called heaven. Thus the night and the morning made a second day. Then God said, "Let the water on the earth come together in one place, and let the dry land rise up." And so it was. And God said, "Let there be fishes in the sea, and let there be birds to fly in the air." So the fishes, great ones and small, began to swim in the sea, and the birds began to fly in the air over the earth, just as they do now. I will make man to be different from all other animals. He shall stand up and have a soul, and shall be like God, and he shall be the master of the earth and all that is upon it. For a time, we do not know how long, Adam and Eve were at peace in their beautiful garden. They did just as God told them to do, and talked with God, as man would talk with his friend. And they did not know of anything evil or wicked. It was needful for Adam and Eve to understand that they must always obey God's commands. Now among the animals in the garden there was a snake. And this snake said to Eve, "Has God told you that there is any kind of fruit in the garden of which you are forbidden to eat?" And Eve answered the snake, "We can eat the fruit of all the trees except the one that stands in the middle of the garden. If we eat the fruit of that tree, God says that we must die." Then the snake said, "No, you will not surely die. God knows that if you eat of the fruit of the tree, you will become as wise as God himself, for you will know what is good and what is evil." Eve listened to the snake, and then she looked at the tree and its fruit, and she saw it. She thought that it would taste good, and if it would really make one wise, she would like to eat it. even though God had told her not to do so. And God said to Adam, "Because you listened to your wife when she told you to do what was wrong, you too must suffer. You must work for everything that you get from the ground. You will find thorns and thistles and weeds growing out of the earth. If you want food, you must dig and plant and reap and work as long as you live. You came out of the ground, and for you were made of dust, and back again into the dust shall your body go when you die." And because Adam and Eve had disobeyed the word of the Lord, they were driven out of the beautiful Garden of Eden, which God had made to be their home. They were sent out into the world, and to keep them from going back into the garden, God placed his angels before its gate with swords which flashed like fire. So Adam and his wife lost their garden, and no man has ever been able to go into it from that day.